All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Interviews You Didn't Ask For, where everyone on the show is someone I know. And today I have a friend of mine that I'm sure a lot of people have heard about, True. True, and I today we're gonna have a good discussion about relationships. There, a relationship in particular that I have found myself. I don't want to say involved in. That sounds bad.
Right.
It's very close to me, as well as healing and all that other fun stuff. So, True, I'm gonna let you introduce yourself. Tell us who you are.
All right. Well, thank you for having me on the show. True. The people know me as Lurez. Um, Probably one of the coolest, downest to earth people you want to meet. I just have relationship issues, which we'll be addressing this afternoon. Jazz is a great friend, sister of mine, and I'm more than honored that she would pick me to spill my heart out amongst the little audience we have right now. But that's pretty much it. I'm the father, grandfather, business owner. Like I said, everything else y'all gonna find out in a minute. But that's just a little brush of what it is. So yeah, that's me.
All right, thank you. We got your background. You giving us the light skin face, all with
Yeah, that's when I was
the
clean.
squinty eye.
I was clean. I was clean on that one. So now you're getting the raw cook up Lou today. That was the clean version. That was my daddy
Mm,
mode. Today is
okay,
business mode.
okay. Well, first I want to say, are you driving?
I am sitting and driving, so I'm doing both. So,
Okay.
but I'm finding somewhere where I don't have to worry about losing connections with you and
Okay.
our audience. So we'll be fine.
So, okay, we just gonna get to it. This conversation is following 'cause lots of conversations between you and one of my best friends, my sister Mallory.
Right,
And
right.
that's how I know True. This I don't know what to. You're her ex.
Okay, well, give a little backstory. I found Mallory over social media. I followed her for a while, and every now and then I would
Several
send
years,
little,
correct?
yeah, several years, yes, almost maybe 7 years now. Like I just would see her, thought she was cute, nice shape, hair a little too large for my liking, but
Oh wow.
I was able to adjust that, But yeah, I didn't never know her. So when I finally got an opportunity to meet her, it was right after she got a situation with this other guy. And
Mm-hmm.
I was telling her, like, hey, I'm sorry that y'all didn't work out. There's nothing out here. If you can make it work, make it work. And she said it was done. So even after that, I let months go by before I actually asked her would she be fine with meeting me. And she agreed, and we met. And from there, it's been a roller coaster ever since then. She really is an awesome woman, and she deserves an even more awesome guy. I thought I could be that, but I got some bad ways that I'm working out now, and yeah, that's where we are. So yeah, that's how I met Miss Mallory, and
Mm-hmm.
we we've been messing around going on 3 years, and she'd been there with me through two of my relationships. I would never say number two because she was more than that, but
Hmm.
I was yeah, I was all over the place. But I always had this thing for her. I just couldn't let my other shit go. And she finally just was like, okay, you ain't gonna be right. I can't allow you to keep being disrespectful. And I didn't like it, but yeah, that's where we are today. So
Mm-hmm.
throughout the time meeting her, I have been around her. I met you, all her so-called hot girls, all her family, like beautiful people. That's why I'm on here with you today, because y'all are great people to have around to know. And it's just outside of that, the relationship just didn't work, but our friendship was the reason why me and you able to talk, while me and her still able to be cordial and so forth, because we were better friends than we were as far as trying to be in relationships. And so that's what we're going to address today on where we are now, where we're going in the future, and so forth with that. So that's pretty much,
I've got some follow-up questions because you just kind of bypassed a few things. So you said in the midst of this, and let me pause real quick and say we agreed prior to this we was gonna have a very honest conversation. And anybody who has watched this show, I got like 4 viewers, knows I don't know how to edit. So there's no editing and there's no stopping. So whatever is said is said. Um, but but what you said is that there were some other relationships in there. Can you elaborate about those other relationships?
Okay, so
Uh-oh. Your bandwidth is low. You still there?
when I first girlfriend that I had,
You went away for a second. You're back now.
yeah, okay, yeah, I had to do something, I don't know. But no, so I had a girlfriend, which I reluctantly didn't let her know at that time in meeting her. I didn't know if I was going to like her the way I wound up liking her. So throughout our time and liking each other, I came clean and said I had a girlfriend. And I propositioned her, Mallory, in a soul sense, because she was working 2 full-time jobs and she had stopped going to school. So when I heard her say these things, I said, well, what would it take for me? What would it take for you to go back to school? Because it seems like that's more important. And she said, well, if I could just stop working 2 full-time jobs, I can go back to school. So I came in with a proposition and said, well, I will.
It froze. Jesus, come back.
Give you, for you to.
It broke up. I didn't hear. Oh, the last thing you said is she said she didn't want to work 2 full-time jobs. That's the last thing we heard.
Well, no. She didn't have a problem working 2 full-time jobs, but she wanted to finish school. So I said, well, what would you need to do to start working 2 full-time jobs and go back to school? And she said, well, I don't have anything else but do this, save up some money, and then I'll go back to school. So I came in as a good Samaritan, and I said, well, what if
That's such a nice way of saying that, a good Samaritan. Okay.
I said, so what if I come, so I said, what if I give you, at the time it was $1,000 a month. I said, if I give you $1,000 a month, would that help you so you can go back to finish school? Because that's going to be what you need to do anyway to finish your career, your degree, and get on the right track. And that way you don't have to work to 2 jobs to kill yourself. And she said, no, I couldn't really do that. I said, well, she said, well, what do you get out of doing this for me? And I said, well, for you to be accessible to me when I come into town. And she said, what does that mean? I said, if I let you know I'm coming in on Thursday, I would like to see you on Thursday and Friday. And then, you go back to life and, that was ideal. So during that course of time, it never got to $1,000 per se, but I paid her car note insurance for years and everything else she need help with here, there. So that's how we've been. Throughout that time, I had got engaged. And then when I got the engagement, thinking that me and her could be together, that backfired because she said I wasn't ready, and she was right. So
wait, slow down. You got engaged, but not to her.
I got engaged to the girl I was with.
And your thought was after you got engaged to this other person and it didn't work out, that now you could be with Mallory.
Right. Well, it didn't work out because of me messing with Mallory. Mallory became more.
It's breaking up. Jesus. It's breaking up. Wait. You and Mallory became what?
Well, Mallory became.
This is terrible. It's breaking up at the part where I need to know.
Okay, I am recording again. Hi, everyone.
We figured this out. We sitting still in one place so the shit don't break up. I honestly can't even remember what part you were on. But it started breaking up when you were talking about the arrangement you had, and then no, you were talking about how you were engaged. You had got engaged to someone. That's what you were speaking about, and that someone was not Mallory.
Yes, that someone was not Ed. So I got engaged, and by that time, me and Mallory was really tight.
Mm-hmm.
And we had traveled, we had been intimate. I mean, we had a great friendship.
So why'd you get engaged?
Because the woman I was with, I felt morally that she was a wife. Once she got the ring, she was already always opinionated, a person. But when she got the ring, it's like that went from 75% opinionated to now 150, to where she just feel like I'm here, I can say what I want to say, we about to get married, and she didn't know what she was dealing with. Because I was like, fuck you and that ring, I'm out. And my reasons for being out was because I really wanted to be with Mallory.
I still want to explore that a minute. I mean, we're going to put a pin in that. We're going to come back to, because what you're saying is you were maintaining multiple relationships. You had feelings for all of the women involved, and you chose to get engaged to one because you felt like she was like wife material, or you felt obligated to, what do you mean by like morally?
Okay, so like most women I've met have either been a side chick, messed with a married man, of that nature. Mm-hmm. This particular woman, the way she was and the way she presented herself, she hadn't even did nothing like that. And her actions and her ways of letting me feel like she didn't talk to a guy who had a girlfriend. She never talked to a married guy. Like, that really was surprising to me, for her to be older than I was, and for me to hear that from her was like a breath of fresh air. I was like, oh, wow. I'm used to a woman saying, well, yeah, he had a girlfriend, or yeah, he was married, and I was this and I was that. So it becomes so common and normal to me to hear a woman that plays second fiddle to a guy, his situation, that when I found someone who had never done that, I was just taken away like, oh, wow. Oh, okay. And
so up until this point, you felt that cheating was the norm.
I felt that cheating is the norm. And,
okay.
And that's sad, but in our culture, in our world now, we just accept so much, man. We accept homosexuality, we accept, age difference, we accept interracial, we accept cheating, we accept so much, to the point now they're trying to make polygamy a law where you can have more than two spouses. So,
but those things are different. Like interracial dating, homosexuality is very different because those are things that people agree on. There's consent. If I'm dating a woman, we both agreeing on that. Cheating is different.
Okay, but even with that, people still get cheated on. So I'm saying,
it's
as if marriage is the number one reason for divorce. That's gonna go over your head a little bit. So, with that being said, it's like, if you get in a situation, okay, yes, it starts off blissful. You love this person. Y'all have a connection. Y'all have things y'all want to work on. You do love that person. How the cheating comes into play, I'm still, at my age, still trying to figure out why I can't just be with that one woman. Mm-hmm. When I was married, I was with my wife. I didn't cheat on her, even though I did some shit that was questionable. Well, not questionable. I did something that I know that if she did, I would not have liked it.
Okay. Okay.
So, but I didn't. But even with Mallory, my thing was with her. Well, I'm not. Are we cussing on here, or we gotta be?
Sure, you say what you want. Okay. I try to keep it. I try to keep my job.
So with me, it's like I'm not fucking nobody else. Yes, I'm entertaining, I'm talking and stuff of that nature. They know I have a woman, they know I have a fiance, they know I have somebody. I know this, therefore I'm not sleeping with these women. It's just somebody to talk to. She might be studying or she busy, or somebody who just call and check on me. Now, do I understand now that they have ulterior motives about getting with me or trying to take me out of my situation?
But you
Or
go
waiting
looking for it sometimes. So it's not like these are women.
but see, that's the thing. I don't go looking for it. They already be with me.
You reached out to Mallory. She was living her life.
You know what? Okay, you're right. You know what? Now Mallory, I did because I had been following her. I was researching her, studying her to see like if this was somebody I wanted to be with, because this is how I choose my prey. Like
okay.
I study they what they say, what they do, what they wear, how they act. Like I see if somebody I might want to meet. If I meet them and one thing leads to another, that's great. And that's what it was. When I met her, I was more or less like I finally get to meet my crush. So I met her, we had a good time, we chopped it up. And then, like I said, then talking to her, I realized this woman working 2 full-time jobs because the guy she was last dating left her with a car that she really couldn't afford because that wasn't the deal.
He was trash.
And I'm like, well, damn, when you should. Yeah. So, yep. So I'm like, okay, well, let me help her get back in school because that's important. And we had our great arrangement, and we've been doing it ever since then up until recently. And she really hit a lick even after that. So it's like, me as a man, it's like, I know what kind of husband I can be or I have been. It's just that these temptations and distractions, I feel like I have under control because I'm not being intimate with these women. I'm talking to them, which is still intimacy. I'm understanding that. I know at a certain age you would think that a man should get these things and know these things, but I'm telling you.
But it's more than that. You don't close the door, though. True, you won't close the door. You be like right there, though.
I've done that. I've got people through college. I've taken care of their kids. I mean, I'm a giving person. I love to see people be better in life. If I can do that and help you, yes. That doesn't happen to be women that like me or I've been with. Yeah, I mean, yes, we have ties together. Like it's time, and I know they kids call me father and dad, and now their grandkids call me papa, and it's like they reach out to me, they talk to me, they.
But do you see how it's the if you were cheating and you made a bunch of families, it's the same thing. You got families all over the place. Even if you're not sleeping with the women, you have families all over.
You know what? And I agree. I agree with you 100% on that. They are families that I do have, which is crazy now because now when I meet someone, I expect for them to accept these people as my extended family. And some women, it's like, okay, that's not your ex-wife, they're not your biological kids. Fuck them, man, her. Like, we gonna do us.
Because there's so many, though. It's not like I got this one person who I have that relationship with. You got several people.
Well, actually, okay. In the beginning, when I first met Mallory, I had a few doors open. I did. And now with her, because the way she demanded, those be shut. Now now I'm sitting here with nobody, to fuck with because Mallory pretty much was like, no, you need to do this and you need to do that. And I did it because I wanted to show her I wanted to be this guy for her. And I felt like, it was time. Like I say, I helped somebody get a car. They were paying the car, no insurance. Mallory felt like that was a distraction. There's no need for that. I went and got the car from the woman. Now I got the car. I'm not driving now because, it's mine. But it's like, dang, like now I'm not even with you. And I'm stuck with this car note and insurance. And I'm like, okay, this is, I mean, everything is good. It's getting better. I appreciate her for being the way she was, making or forcing my hand to be the man that she really wanted me to be. I hate to throw the word insecurities around, but I can understand why she would feel and want me to be this kind of way because she know how these women thinking about me. They know how they feel about me. And she know they are just waiting for opportunity to when things not go right, they can swoop in and try to get back in to a place where they thought they was on their way to. and she just want to eliminate that. So I get it. And plus she had did it. Like I told her, I said, you different. I said, you cut your guys off. You didn't talk to them. You didn't deal with them. And I was supposed to do that too, but I actually had business ventures with these women. I had got cars. I had helped them get to school. So I still had these things I was doing. So I can't just stop helping the person's college tuition because I got them going, or I can't just take the car back because they won't have a car.
But True, do you think that you do this because you feel like they won't be around if you weren't paying for something or taking care of something? Like you wouldn't be able to have friendships or that connection you had?
You know what, Jazz? I probably do that because I feel like that's just the godly thing for me to do, is to help people. Like I do with my male friends, you know, I just so happen I have more female friends than I do male friends. I really do feel like if you put in a position to help somebody and you don't do it, you're not really doing what you was put here for. And I know I'm in the position I'm at because somebody went far and beyond what they should have did for me in order for me to be able to be who I am. And I took that and I just applied it to my personnel, you know, and it just so happens that I might go over the top more or less to say, but I do that because I'd be like, okay, well, I don't want nobody I know personally struggling if I know I can help them.
Mm-hmm.
So if you tell me I want to finish school, if you tell me I want to get this job or whatever it is, if I know somebody who's hiring, if I know the school, how much it's going to be, if I know it's something I can do within me that's not going to put a damper on my situation, I extend my hand out to help you. You get better in your situation, then maybe you'll do that for somebody coming up in life in the future. It just so happens that when I do it, I be in relationships or find somebody I really want to be with. And yes, these doors do be open.
Uh-huh.
And I don't want to close them because they're coming to an end regardless. It's just that sometimes the women I be with, they do accept a lot of my shit because, yeah, I'm a nice guy. They know, okay, he gonna make sure I'm straight. You know, the sex is good. We everything is fine with this guy. He keeps himself together. Yeah, I can see myself.
I like how you just threw out there like the sex is good. Just want to let people know.
Well, I mean, because see, you have to understand, Jazz, men, we have a lot to choose from. So usually, and I just made this comment the other day, when this girl had said to me, she said, you know what? She said, guys like you, it's one of two things. She said, you really either got a little small thing, because that's why you're that generous, or you really just a nice guy. And I said, I don't know. I said, I don't know. I said, I don't know. But see, you knowing a little bit about my story, the way I came up, the early molestation and the problems with my mom and just women in general. And then, okay, now I try to break those chains. Then I finally get to a place where, okay, I'm having kids and I got married and I went from there to living in a shelter. And it's like, I've been up and down so many different levels. It's like to the point now, if I have it and I got it, I don't mind helping somebody.
Yeah, but see, that's why I said we were also going to talk about healing because I think all of these things are connected. That's why I asked you that question, like, because you are very generous, but sometimes in ways that like your reasoning of like, you know where you came from, people helping you, but buying out the bar is not the equivalent. You know what I'm saying? Like, and everybody knows I will never tell a man not to spend his money, but I genuinely, I always tell my friends, if I care about this dude that they talking to, I will get a cheap drink. Otherwise, it's top shelf Long Island. I'm not, if you paying, I'm not going to spend your money like that. But I'm just saying that I think there's a connection between some of the things you do and what you've been through and how you feel like you connect with people, because you make it about what you can provide. Like that was the beginning of your conversation with Mallory. You started off there as if you didn't have enough to offer on your own without saying, here's what else I can give you.
You know what? And you are right with that. And the reason why, like I said, the reason why I did come at her that way is because I knew I had a situation. if I didn't have a situation, the approach for me coming to Mallory would have been different because I would have had more time to spend and more to show her. But when you got all these extra things going on, you have to say, I'd rather spend money than time because I don't have that much time. When I get off the road, I got to figure out how I'm going to spend time with you. I got to figure out how to spend time with my fiance, my kids. Like, you know what I'm saying? So everybody needs my time. So I have to say, okay, even with my kids, it's like, okay, I can see them for a few hours today. I only got a few hours left. I'm gonna go do this with them, then I'm gonna go do this with that. And then before you look up, okay, you gotta go back out here and run this company. So when I met Mallory, it was like, okay, well, you're not trying to look for nobody. You just got a bad situation. I'm in a position to help you get back in school, and I did. And she's been doing great ever since. Dean's List, graduating, getting her shit together. And yeah, I'm a part of that. I feel good about that. You know, that I was able to help her. And I wish she'd have found somebody else to do it. Maybe. But she eventually did it on her own. Yes, she would have, because she's very determined and goal oriented. But with me coming in and making it more accessible, more easier, she thought it was a good idea. I thought it was a good idea. And
shit, I thought it was a good idea. I mean, who would say no?
And so for the last 3 years, that's what it's been. And you know, I tried to play her at times. Well, I have played her at times where I did some fucked up shit. You know, talking to bitches in her apartment complex, having groupie bitches around that want to be with me. I mean, I think it just got to a point where I feel like now it's about the money, so therefore I don't really.
But it wasn't. Like it wasn't. So here, I want to go back to the.
It wasn't about the money, but I think at one point in our relationship, I feel like I was just that's what it was. I was helping her get through school. I was making sure she was compensated on that end, and along that way, I got, especially when I got out of my engagement, I really started to spiral out of fucking control. Like I was hanging out more, I was drinking. It's like I've been in relationships because it brings me down. It slows me down to a place where I got to go home and take care of home. I get a woman. It's more a structure. And it's like every time I think I'm on the right track, I wind up, you know, doing something and be questionable. Like, okay, you can't do that, or you can't go and do these things because of your situation that you're in. The only difference between Mallory and everybody else, she's more vocal in a lot of ways. The other women, they're more kind of passive. They would let me know in certain senses that, you know, they're not going to tolerate certain things, but I'm going to push the envelope.
But I don't think that's any different. I always say, you know, men treat you the way, and I'm not taking the blame off of them, but they do what you allow, and you can cut those strings. I don't do that and walk away, but people don't. But I do want to go back to the original part you were explaining, and we got down this road, was you ended your engagement, and you thought following that you were going to get serious with Mallory. Is that what you were saying?
I thought that we could work on us as a relationship, and because of how we were, like we could talk all day about eating everything. She was easy to talk to. Like I said, our sex life was off the meters. I mean, she was always thinking of me like I was her man already. So I said, well, shit, this would be a good opportunity for me to be with my best friend. So, and her being my best friend shot me out the fucking air. Like, nope, you ain't ready. So nope, you ain't about to make me, you ain't about to do this. Nope, I'm straight. Like, I like the way shit is. Don't fuck it up. And so I had to prove a dumbass point and let her know, like, okay, fine, you want to be with me? I got at least 3-4 motherfuckers that's ready to be with me right now, and I'm gonna take a leap and go be with one. And my dumbass did. And she knew it wasn't gonna work. I even a little bit knew it wasn't gonna work because Mallory still was there.
Yeah.
Like, she still was there. Like, even though she knew I went and got a whole nother dumbass relationship, she still like, oh, well, you just keep paying my car, no, my insurance, keep breaking me off with that thing, and we fine. You do you, I'm gonna do me, and that's how it's gonna roll. And that's how it was. And I still would talk to her all the time. Everything still was the same. she never really expressed till I got with her how she felt about when I got with Belle. And I was like, I really do want to be right, man. Like, I know I want to be right. And I'm like, this woman is my distraction to why I can't be right with these other women, because I know this is who I need to be with. Like, I love how she is with me. She's a little rough, but I need that. So fast forward a little bit, old girl lied, got caught up in her lie, and I just couldn't deal with that. And I was the disrespectful bastard. I would come in late. You know, one time I stayed out all night and, you know, slept in my car, and I was like, I'm a motherfucker. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I'm
you were self-destructing. You were tearing that apart on your own. You did that. Like, you can't do that and be like, I didn't mean to do it. You knew what you were doing.
But it's like I said, I'm gonna push the envelope. I'm gonna push the limits in my relationship to see what they will and not allow. If I feel like you're gonna let me do whatever it is just so you be with me, then I'm gonna do everything in the world except for put my hands on you. But as far as hanging out, as far as talking, and as far as flirting, I just feel like you just with me.
But boundaries are important, and this is why women have to we have to put boundaries in place, because if you don't put boundaries, men will go wherever they want.
And be gone down the street, doing whatever with whoever, because so you have to do it. You're right. So now we break up. I messed my foot up, and
this is when you jumped the stairs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So.
And broke your foot.
Broke my foot, slit my toe open, 9 stitches, fractured my ankle. It was a bad time of my life. And Mallory was there. And this part of her is what made me fall in love with her, because I didn't know she could be as compassionate as she was when I was fucked up. Like, I mean, she really opened up her house to her and her daughter. You know, they took me in, made sure I got back to health. And I felt that part about her, but when I witnessed it, it just made me look at her in a whole new light. So one night I came in and I had took this ring out of my safe deposit box, and I had it on my hand. And it was one of them drunken nights. The full moon was up and I came in, and it was something about when she opened the door and I looked at her, I just was like, I love this woman. And so I expressed myself openly, like I was crying. I gave it a ring, and I told her, I said, this is an engagement ring, but it's not, but it's to let you know I'm serious about us. I want us to be together. I just got to get me together. And she understood. She said, well, is it engagement or not? And I said, yeah, because I want you to be with me. I just know I got some shit I have to get together. We were never meant to be the way we were. It started off wrong. It gradually grew to be something. And I tried to get in another relationship, trying to weed her off my system. And I just couldn't. I couldn't. And that's when I knew, like, there's more to her than what I thought in the beginning. And I gave her the ring. We were good. And I still had shit I was doing. I had money issues with ladies, and I was lying about it. I mean, I was just doing shit. Like, I wasn't trying to lie, but Mallory is very inquisitive. So sometimes you just don't feel like, I told her I don't like all these fucking questions, but she should be a fucking attorney instead of doing this lab shit, because she's really in the wrong fucking profession. She just questions the shit out of everything, man. You can go to the bathroom and you just might feel like sitting down to pee. She's like, oh, why you sitting down to pee? You something wrong. Like, what the fuck is you in here for? Like, get the fuck out of here. So it's like, so I thought a lot of it was insecurities or her just making sure, like I was sure, and I was sure. It's that I had too many people and things pulling me here and pulling me there, and it wasn't. I told her, I said, my way of being faithful is not sleeping with nobody else. That wasn't good enough for her. So
she didn't like that you lied. It's not. And I don't even want to say it.
You know
but that's really the thing.
The reason why I lied, Mallory. The reason why I lied to Mallory is because it's never ending. It's never fucking ending. Like I would like even with the money thing. Okay, the way I get set up, I messed my foot up everything. My settlements wasn't coming in fast enough, so I needed some money. I had some ladies loan me some money, and I told her I didn't have to tell her. I'm trying to be open, trying to be an honest guy. I said, listen, I said these chicks loan me this money, this, that, and the other. I said I'm gonna pay them back. I said that's the only thing I really got going on. I was like, oh, you already knew about the car. I said, but that's the only thing I got going on. She said to me, well, why you didn't come and ask me for the money? And I told her, I said, well, shit, I feel like you ain't have it. Like, I'm helping you, so how the fuck you can help me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just being honest with her. She said, well, I could have did this, I could have did that. I said, well, Mallory, I wouldn't wanted you to put you in that position. I really just felt like you didn't have the money that I needed. So, yeah, I went and asked. They had it at the time, and they loaned it, and I'm paying it back. I said, but I'm only telling you because I don't want no woman to have something over me, over you. It's like they got some secrets. I want you to know everything. Mm-hmm. Now comes the paying back part. It took a little longer because shit started falling apart. Shit wasn't moving as fast as I wanted to move. And she would ask me, did you pay that money back? And reluctantly, I say yes, because I know if I say no, she's going to be like, well, when you going to pay them back? Or when this and when that? So sometimes you lie to try to diffuse the situation because you know you're going to pay the money back. It's just like, why you worry about me paying them back? Like, I don't owe you. Leave me alone. Like, this is my business. And I used to always say that to her, like, this is my business.
But you really don't know why she was upset about that?
Because it was other women involved. And I went to them rather than come to her. But you understand, Jazz, if I feel like if I go into your kitchen and go into your refrigerator and there's nothing in there to eat or to cook, I just figure there's nothing here to eat or cook. So why would I ask you about groceries when I see there's none in there? Or if I gotta go out and buy them and put something in there.
I get that. But you can't, like, you wanted to avoid her questions, so you lied, which is a bigger issue than to answer the question, because what she was looking for, and I could be making this up, I'm thinking of me, is what's your plan? So if you had said, no, I didn't pay him back yet, but I got this coming in on this day and this day, so it'll be paid off by October 13th, I think she would have stopped asking questions until October 13th.
You know what? And I totally agree with you now. And then, see, she is a plan, like I said, she's very goal-oriented, so she knows how she works things out. She works her shit out to the T. She pays everything ahead of time. That's the things I love about her, how she is. Me, I'm freestyle. When the bill comes, if it's 5 days to the late, I'm gonna wait to the 5th day.
Oh God!
But it's gonna get paid. It's gonna get paid. It's gonna get paid in full. But that's just how I do. I procrastinate. Not that I don't have the money. Not that I don't want to do it. I just feel like, I can pay you when I get ready. And that's how I do her. Mm-mm. And that's one thing I love about her, and that's the one thing I learned from her. I was like, you know what, let me go and pay the shit, man. Be done. So now I pay shit 2 months in advance. Don't worry about the shit till it's close to the holidays or whatever. Because I learned that from her. That she just gets it out the way. That way she know what money she's working with. This, that, and other. Me, I got that from her. How to do things on a schedule to be more organized in a sense. You don't have to be worried about this coming up, you know it's taken care of, or you paying this late, you don't have to just pay it when it's due, have it come out. Now I just have everything come out automatically. I don't pay nothing when it's due. Whatever day is 2 days before the due date, pay it 2 days before due date. It still got to be spent, paid for what you're holding on to it for. So that's
structure. That's the structure you said you were looking for. Yeah.
And she provided that. So we needed each other for certain things. And that's why I overstepped my boundaries or my feelings and wanted to marry her, knowing that I wasn't 100% where she needed me to be.
But you didn't want her talking to anybody else. That's what it was.
I mean, it was selfish. I mean, I was selfish and want her for myself. I know what kind of woman she is. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, if you know that that's going to look good on you, you're going to take it and hide it for yourself because you don't want nobody else to pick it up and put it on.
Yes. Okay. But I think of it as, if I see something in the store and I can't afford it, there's a couple options, right? I can put it on layaway. I can walk away from it. or I can do something so nobody else can buy it. But none of those are fair, because if the person who can't afford it is there, let them buy it. Like, it's not, that's a bad analogy, because it's not fair to Mallory either. If there was somebody who was ready.
No, you already, okay, so you was going in the right direction. And I can use the layaway example, because that's perfect. That's what I did. I was putting love on layaway. I knew that I wanted this.
But you were still out there spending your money. You could have took it off the market, but you still out there spending your money elsewhere.
But I really wasn't spending money. I was out having a good time and bullshitting. Okay, I was doing that. But as far as what kind of arrangement me and her had, I haven't had that with no one else. And really, because I was happy with Mallory. Yeah, I was gonna hang out with chicks that I knew might like me. They might call me. Like I said, those were her issues with me. Because she's like, well, you said you want to talk to such and such. I'm like, well, you look at the conversation. Excuse me.
But you knew these women liked you, so you got something out of that interaction.
But I let them know that I was with her.
I know, so but you got something out of that interaction.
But you know what? I can't stop nobody from liking me. You know what I'm saying? Like these. Okay, like the ladies that loaned me the money. Okay, like I didn't have to sleep with them to get it. We were friends. They had it. They helped me. And even now, everybody's compensated. Everybody been taken care of. They still call and check on me. Hey, how you doing? You good out there? Just checking on you. I can't help if they like me. They still good people, and they really were good people because they helped me out of they helped me in a situation that I needed them to help me in. But that doesn't take away from them still being good people. It's just that I don't feel the way they feel about me, the way they feel about.
But let me ask you, so if during this time Mallory had been out with, some good people who just happen to really like her, you'd be okay with that?
I mean, she's gonna have people that really like her. She got people that still like her now. They still inbox.
Is she hanging with them tough?
Well, that's the thing. I wasn't hanging with these people tough. I really wasn't. I mean, it would just be, let's just say out 3 months, I might see them once. But that one time would be more than enough for her, because she felt like, why you still hanging out with them? You know they like you. And I'm like, that what do I have to do anything? Like, I'm coming home to you. Like, it's no big deal. Like, you see people that like you.
I'm not disagreeing, right? Because I don't, on one end, I don't think I have the right to tell the person that I'm with who to hang out with. But on the other end, I guess I'm thinking about the harmony of the situation, because you also have to consider your track record with that. If y'all had met under a different situation, if your track record hadn't been that you be kind of doing stuff you shouldn't be doing, she may not have been as concerned. So really, it's not the individual, it's what's happened prior to this.
You know what, Jazz, and you're right, but I'm gonna give you a little bit more than that. It's the number 2 syndrome. Mallory knew eventually that she was my private joy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now she's my main thing. She feel like there's another private joy that took my spot.
Yes.
So, and I'm trying to convince her, like, no, nigga, like, no.
But do you see that because of that situation, you can't do what you usually do? You can't mend. It's not like she got this out of nowhere. She's justified to believe that. So you have to do things that maybe you don't want to do to make sure, other than just be like, oh, it's good.
You know what? Once again, you're on a roll. You should be a therapist. You're all right. I'm not denying what you're saying. All I was trying to voice my opinion is to say, when I got with Mallory, she made me want to close doors. She made me want to be the all for her. It's just that the speed and the time that she wanted me to act on these things, which should have been already taken care of before I came to her. I agreed to that 100%. But I knew that she was the reason why I wanted to do and stop doing the shit I was doing, because I knew she was worth it. She wasn't patient enough with me in the shit I was doing.
Should she have to be?
Where I was going. But in her defense, she felt like you should have came at me if you wasn't there, because you were this age, you did this, you did that, and she's justified in her feelings towards me because she didn't want this. She didn't want a relationship. She liked how we were. She liked our chemistry. Everything about us, we were great. I pushed the envelope and wanting this relationship with this woman, knowing that I was only 85% ready to be who she needed me to be because of prior issues with guys, because of how we got together, everything. And I'm knowing these things, I still push the envelope and force her hand to say, okay, I'm gonna get us a shot. And even though I felt like I was doing what I was doing was good enough, it should have been better than good enough because I knew what she had been through and she didn't want it and she still took a chance at it and I dropped the ball. So here we are now where we was at a bad place. I mean, like when we all went out for Valentine's Day, when you and John left, we got into it. And
y'all got into it before we left.
Wait, it got worse then. So we get into the room. She hot about what I said. I'm mad about what she said. And she threw a drink in my face, swung on me. And I mean, it was chaos. So then that night, I was really done. I was done. I don't do that physical shit. And she knows.
I agree. She shouldn't have did that. You shouldn't put your hands on the person you're dating. You shouldn't put your hands on nobody. But if you're dating somebody, you really shouldn't put your hands on them.
And you know, the first thing she said after she knew that she fucked up, I guess you're gonna leave now since I hit you, this, that, and other. And I think with her saying that, it made me say, nope, I'm gonna make this shit work, motherfucker. Because that's what you want. You want out this relationship. For whatever reasons, you want out this relationship. You're gonna start a fight because you knew that I was married and my ex-wife tried to fight. And out of everything we went through, I don't do the physical. So you figure, well, if I do this, I know he hate that. He ain't gonna deal with that. He gonna leave. So I had to prove to her, like, nah, I'm gonna make this shit work because I feel like you are worth it. And from February, March we was good. Then all the hell and the earth fell apart. The world came to an end. So we survived. So we survived Corona, but we still trying to survive Corona. And we was good. Then we got into it on my birthday about something. Then we got into it on her birthday about something. So in May, she got physical again after I left her birthday get together. That morning, I was done. In my mind, when I woke up, I was getting my shit. I'm getting the fuck out the door. And it's like the Lord was like, nah, you need to stick around. And that's the day they called her and let her go from her job. I was asleep. I heard the conversation and I looked up in the sky and I was like, really? Like, I'm not going to be that motherfucker. Like, I'm not going to leave you on the day where you lose your job. Like, that's the lowest down shit. I don't care what we just been through. I could not do that to nobody, but I really couldn't do that to her. But I talked to her. I said, I love you. I said, but I can't do this. I said, emotionally, I'm detached from this relationship. I said, but I'm not gonna leave you right now because this is a bad time. I said, we're gonna just try to figure some shit out and maybe things can be different. And so for May, we tried, but by then, Jazz, I really started just doing dumb shit. I mean, I really did. And I wasn't disrespectful to her as far as women calling and disrespect to her and nothing. But I just really was like, I love this woman. I'm not gonna leave her down and out because that was never my intentions. But we just not good in no relationship together.
But I, you know, that's what I said with healing. I and Mallory knows I said this to her. I'm not just talking about you. I'm also talking about her. And it doesn't work if only one person is working on themselves. And like, y'all both got stuff on your own outside of the relationship that you need to work through. Because I agree. Like, she know, I've told her, like, you don't, I don't do that. A matter of fact, I've always said to her, if John and I get in an argument, I don't yell. Neither of us yell. We don't even curse. As much as I curse, we don't curse at each other because if I'm trying to really solve the problem, get to the solution, we need to have a conversation about that. So I can't get mad because you called me this. I'm not insulting. We're going to talk about it. But those are things you have to learn how to do if that's not how you do it. You definitely don't put your hands on nobody.
And like I said, she's a firecracker. Like I said, she did some things that now we laugh about it now. It wasn't funny at the time, but I laugh about it now. Like I said, she just has a different way of handling things, and I'm not into that. So fast forward, I took a friend, or okay, I took an ex and trained her on the road. I didn't tell her because I said, because I know this is not going to end right if I tell her that I'm going to take this woman on the road to help her get a job because her job closed down for the pandemic. So I took her on the road for a couple of days, got her trained and everything. I got back home. I made love to my woman. It was good. I felt like I had got away with robbery until I didn't. And the way she found out, I said, this could only happen to my black ass. So I said, you know what? I said, yeah. I said, I did do that. So now I'm raw because, like I said, at this point, I'm already mad about the fights. I'm already mad about all this other bullshit that we've been going through. So now I got caught with this shit. So I'm like, you know what, Mal? I said, here's what's gonna happen. I said, it's $15,000 in the drawer in there, in the box. I said, because I don't want to lose you all together as a friend, take that money, do what you need to do, finish school, whatever, this, that, and other. I said, because this relationship that we in is gonna end bad if we don't end it now. So just, I said, if it's about the money because you lost your job, whatever, take that money. And I said, we still could be cool. I said, but I keep doing shit that's fucking us up. And she said, nah, I want you. We can work on that.
She ain't calling to ask me my opinion at all at that moment.
so I said, okay. I said, okay, well, here's what it's going to be. And I just how I came at her. I said, listen, I'm not cheating. I don't want to cheat. I said, I'm satisfied sexually and everything with you. That's not the issue. Sometimes I just want to do things I want to do. I said, like this situation right here when I took the girl on the truck with me. I know I could have fucked if I wanted to. That's always been a given. But I have a woman. I'm respecting her. I disrespected you when I did what I wanted to do. And I know it looks bad, but I'm telling you, I did it because that's who I am. I knew you weren't gonna like it. That's why I didn't tell you.
But can you see that she's not going? She might have a hard time believing that you didn't sleep with the girl because you lied about what you was doing. So why wouldn't you lie about that part?
But that's the thing. I didn't lie. The whole time the woman was with me.
It was a lie of omission.
I didn't omit anything. She didn't know anything. When I tell you everything was just the way I usually do it, I talked to her, I FaceTime. As a matter of fact, that night y'all was over there, I FaceTime y'all when you was on the balcony. I did everything I was doing as if the woman wasn't in the truck with me because she knows my situation. I'm doing this as a favor to help you. So it's nothing for me to hide. So Mallory had no reason to think it was a chick on the truck with me because I didn't change up anything. We talked for the same amount of time. We said good night. We said good morning. We said the FaceTime. Everything.
But that sounds like a setup.
But it's not a setup. I just didn't tell her like, oh, by the way, I got an old girl here with me.
Anybody who watching know what I'm talking about. You know it sounds like a setup. You had someone else in the car who could have been playing side piece, and I'm not saying she was or whatever. But you had her in the car. She not saying nothing. You doing what you usually do. Mallory don't know the girl with you. Y'all got to sleep somewhere. So y'all sleeping somewhere. You don't say nothing about any of that. When she finds out, you like, but I ain't actually like. I wouldn't believe it either. It don't add up.
You know what? And I didn't expect her to believe it. I really didn't. And you know what? At that point in our relationship, I didn't care if she believed me or not because I was really trying to find a way out. That's why I offered her the money. That's why I wanted to be out because I knew that I was not ready for how she needed me to be. Because even that simple thing, that thing right there, I would have done that for anybody. And I would have wanted my wife, my fiance, my girlfriend, whoever it is, to trust me enough to know like, nah. And even if he did, it's home. So when that happened, I said to her, I want my cake eaten too. I said, not so much as sleeping around, nothing like that. I said, but when I'm on the road, I'm on the road. I take care of home, I take care of home. And she said, so let me get this straight. So you can do what you do on the road and don't come home here. I said, yeah. She said, and it ain't nothing to do with no females, no nothing. I said, I'm gonna hang out, but I'm fine. She said, you know what? I don't know how it's gonna work, but we can try it. And I didn't have nothing. I didn't have nobody lined up. I wasn't trying to do nothing. I just wanted us to have an understanding that I'm taking care of home. Nobody's gonna inbox you, nobody gonna call you, nobody gonna text you, nobody gonna come to your house, nobody gonna disrespect our Trinity, our little sanctuary, because I'm letting them know whatever it is, even if it's a woman that like me, hey, nah, I got a girl for that. I'm just hanging out because you hear hee hee ha ha, and I'm back down the road. So what happened? I lied about somewhere I went, and she found out going through my phone, which I told her stay on my phone. But I gave her the code to my phone because I wasn't hiding shit.
But just to clarify, you've gone through her phone.
I went through her phone one time. She went through my phone 1,000. So if you want to compare the times, then okay. Now one time I went through her phone, we worked together, and that's why I was surprised that we even got to the level we are now, because she played the fuck out her. She did the me to me. And that's probably
but that's the only reason you only went through her phone once. That's why you ain't go through it again.
What? Because I felt like the way that women are and can be, all women should work for the government as Secret Service. Because I promise you, y'all motherfuckers won't say shit about nothing. And unless the man goes through your phone and accidentally catches whatever it is you're doing, he would never have a clue. The way Mallory treated me was as if I was the only nigga that mattered. She never said
but that was the agreement
with nobody. But I'm saying to you, but I just felt like I put her on this pedestal, like, damn, that's why I wanted to leave my fiance to be with her, because I felt like it was all about me. She played an Oscar-winning performance to the T. She didn't deviate from it. She never played me off for nobody else. When I came in, it was about me. She played her fucking role. So this night in question, we went out. We had a great night. We had a lot to drink. Usually she keeps her phone with her all the time. This particular night, she was drunk in bed. I was sitting on the couch. And I promise you, it's like the heavens opened up her phone. Because I know she has a code on it. I don't know it. She got the Face ID on it. I don't get it. This night, Jasmine and my audience, I promise you, this phone lit up as if it said, hey, look at me. Let's see what I've been doing. And I went through it, and I did some things I'm ashamed of to say I did. I text guys, I called, I was drunk. I can blame it on the alcohol, but really it was my emotions and the alcohol all together. And I embarrassed myself in doing that because I had no right. I just felt like she played her position so well that I really thought she wasn't fucking around with nobody else. So when I seen the pictures of her at the Halloween thing with you and her little guy friend, I'm like, oh, this motherfucker taking the other niggas around. This bitch ain't shit. Okay. And I was hot. I was hot because she played me. Like, I would call her, she spit me, and she was saying it was other reasons. But now I know what those reasons was, and that's why I went through her phone. Cause like the time she was spitting me, I knew it was something else. I just couldn't put my hand on it. So that's what I really needed clarification. And when I found out, I haven't touched her phone since. I respect whatever it is she do, whatever she got going on. I just figured I know how she moved now. And once I knew how she moved, stupid as this shit sound, I was more turned on because of how she did what she did. And I was done with her. I cussed her out and everything. She came and found me. She sat in the truck. She poured her heart out to me. And we was cool. We was cool. We took a break for a minute, sexually or whatever, but she still was there. I mean, I still was making sure she was compensated. I mean, nothing really stopped. You know, it was just like, damn, she played the shit out of me. But I couldn't get mad because I had got out of a situation that she dealt with. So it's like, it really fucked me up. So I never touched her phone since then. Even now, you know, I don't ask her nothing about what she's doing. She'll tell me, you know, she went out, hung out, whatever. And I laugh at the choices that she's subject to be with now. And we in a better spot because when the night came up that we got into it and the police was called and the money was taken and all these things happened, I really was like, I'll never talk to her again. I really had that in my mind, but I didn't want to lose my friend. I was fine with the relationship being over. I just didn't want to lose my friend. And my ego and my pride wouldn't allow me to call, to text, to do anything because I felt like she's been compensated. She's fine. She got the money. That's what it's all about.
I got to ask you to say on record because when it all went down, there were some people who got from you the impression that the money was stolen.
Okay, and I tell her that, and I still tell her to this day, I think you did steal it.
How did she steal it?
Because once somebody gives you something and you give it back to them, it's no longer an option on the table for you to be yours. You gave it back. So once you take it, when the person hasn't given it to you again, that's stealing. That's taken unwillingly against the person who offered you the first time. When I gave it to you, you didn't want it, you gave it back.
So you're saying she should have took it. She should have took it and dumped you at that moment when you offered it.
You know what? We would have had a better. We'd have been way better on with our situation because I was doing that because I knew how it was going to end or how it could end because I wasn't moving as fast as I needed to be. I wasn't where I needed to be that she wanted me to be at. I feel like I was good.
You couldn't consider it to be like a late fee then if you wasn't moving at the speed.
You know what, Jazz, and I told her, but most of our problems came in with her going through my phone. I said, Mallory, stay on my phone. I said, we would be fucking blissful and happy if you stay on my fucking phone. And I still could have changed the code, but then now you're looking like you're hiding something. I really wasn't hiding nothing. It's just the thing that she seen. Like I said, if a chick just texts me, hey, how you doing? I thought you said you weren't talking to her no more. I'm like, if you look at the conversation, you'll see it's been a few months. I haven't said anything, and that's the first thread, and she started with me. So she just want me to just ignore people. She just want me just not to deal with people, new females. And I'm like, man, I'm trying to get to that point. Like, I'm not fucking, that's great to me. But she didn't understand that. She was figuring, yeah, you saying your way of being faithful is not being physical with other women. I'm telling you that that's not good enough.
Did y'all ever talk about this boundary though? Did y'all have a conversation where she agreed she would not go through your phone and
she
you wouldn't
told
go
me
through
she would try.
Her? Okay.
and her trying was terrible. So her trying was from 7 days a week to 3 days a week. That was her trying. So like I told her, I mean, okay, so going back to the money. So the night when we got into it, she went through my phone. And the woman was drunk. She made a comment about me coming and she wished I came by myself, LOL, this, that, and the other. If I had seen that, Jazz, I would have deleted it. Not even the fact that it was nothing. I felt so terrible, I would delete it because I didn't want her to feel some kind of way about me talking to this person.
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't it. I put my phone on the charger. We in there, we playing cards, we having a good time. And next thing I know, all hell breaks loose. So she like, get the fuck out, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, okay. I said, I'm gonna leave. Okay, cool. So I said, you know what? Give you my money. I ain't giving you shit, this, that, and the other. I said, no, I'll give you my fucking money. I said, if it's over, it's over. Give me my fucking money. I'm coming to get my clothes. I'm gonna take my clothes, this, that, and the other. I ain't giving you shit. So she took the box and she hid it, ran with it, whatever the fuck she did with it. So I said, okay, you gonna play these games? Okay, fine. I'm not gonna put my hands on you. I'm gonna call the police and you're gonna give me my money.
You, a black man, called the police though.
I did. I called the police because I wanted my money. I wanted my things without me.
Everybody could have died that night. Like that was extreme.
You know what? And they could have because I was drunk. She was drunk. Everybody was drunk except for Rihanna. You know, so it was a bad stream of events. So the way she took the money and handled that situation that night, I felt like it was a sign of desperation and a sign of fuck you, I'm keeping this anyway. I should have took it the first time. So now when I say to her, when I gave it to you to not put us in this position, you didn't take it then, you can't come back now and take it because that deal is off the table. That deal is off the table. Because if the deal had been like, well, if you do one more thing, I'm gonna take the money, this would have been different. That wasn't it. So when you decided you was at your bottom's end with me, it's over, then you shouldn't have wanted anything from me. You should have just said, you know what? I don't want you, that, nothing, get the fuck on. And I promise you, with me being who I am, I left the money anyway. Because I knew you needed it. But because you handled it the way you handled it, in the way you did, I feel like that's what it was about anyway, all about the money. So when I made the reference, just how I said it to you, this how it was, I said, is this considered stealing? Of course, people will agree, yeah, that's stealing, that's that, other. I didn't say no names. I just wanted people to pick. Because if I was wrong in me saying that she stole, then I would correct myself and say, hey, man, you know what? I was wrong for saying you stole the money. But even with that, it just took time for me to get over things. So she didn't know that week after we broke up, that I had already planned my first therapy session.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just do things. If I talk about them, it's going to take me longer to do them. So now I just act and do the shit. So that next week, I went to therapy. The week after that, I went to therapy. And the week after that, I went to therapy. And when I went to my third one, it's been about 3 weeks by this point. That's when I've seen her, I talked to her, and I apologized for my actions, my roles, in us, and in the way we ended. As far as the money, yeah, I said, you know what? I feel like you did steal it, and we laughed about it. She gave her spew on it, but I told her, I said, no, you stole it. I said, but you know what? I still was gonna do the same shit for you anyway because you still haven't finished college, and that was my whole thing, to make sure you finish college. So I hope that you do what you do. Now the thing with the ring, I said, well, you can get my ring back since that's not gonna happen right now. Just get my ring back. And she said, well, I bought a car with your ring. Oh, I said, wow. I said, okay.
I'm not gonna say shit. That's my friend. I always got her back.
It took everything inside of me not to choke this motherfucker. I said, so you had Stanky Booty ring, but you ain't take his ring, but you took my shit and went and bought you a car. See, I'm glad I'm glad I'm in a woosah state of person now that I know the money is not the end of all things for me and her. I didn't like what had happened. No. If I could turn back the hands of time, I probably would. But like I told her, I said, when it's meant to be, it's meant to be. I said, because if it wasn't meant for you to have that money wouldn't have been in our house. And I said, it was there because that was set up through a higher power for it to be like that. So my time with you has come to an end. We could be friends. I've served my purpose. I think I've done way over, exceedingly beyond anything a nigga has done for you in all your years of dating. And I'm cool. I'm good with that. I'm good for this. I'm glad to see you. You're back doing your thing in school. Your baby about to graduate. Like, I wish nothing but the best for this woman, even to this day. Only thing I wanted was my friendship back, and I have that, to where we can hang out, we can talk, we can be on a happy medium despite what we've been through in our little short hiatus.
So I got a couple questions because I know direction I want to go, but real quick, I want to ask you, one, do you think that your friendship with her will create issues for you later in terms of future relationships with other people, if we're assuming that y'all are not getting back together?
I'm going to say no, because now I know what it takes to be. Well, I'm learning what it's going to take to earn a person's everything. So if they show me that it's all about me, there's no extracurricular niggas hanging around, it's nothing else but us, then I'm going to do that same thing for her. Like I'm going to change the number. I'm going to block, do whatever it takes because I realize that these outside people, even though they come as your friend, they really do want more, and they just waiting on that opportunity, that window to open up so they can jump through it. And these things I've learned. So my next situation, whenever this may be, when I see that this person is all about me, that she doesn't have anything else going on, nobody texting, nobody calling, and it's all about me, then I'm going to give her that same respect and shut shit down just the way she did for me. And that's funny because like I said, now everything is shut down. And it's like, damn. Like like you can't go back and open up these cans of
But
worms.
That's the point. That's the point. You shouldn't.
And it is, and I told her the other day, like, it's crazy. Like, I finally got to a place where I don't have no outside distractions. Now I only had a woman I did it for. And so, but I told her, I said, sometimes people are used in your life to get you to a place where you need to be. And they play their role. They come in for their season, they come in for their theatrical debut, and they out of there. And they either taught you something or you done learn something. Either way, they leave something on your life that you can take and be okay with. And that's what I did for Mallory. It was financial for her, and for me, it was healing and closure. So we all got something that we benefited from.
I was gonna say maybe you weren't supposed to do it for a woman. Maybe you were supposed to do it for yourself.
Yeah, and you know what? And that's, but either way, it had to be done. And it just took Mallory to make that so, because throughout these last few years, I have had Mallory. I've tried to be in a relationship, I had Mallory. I tried to be in a relationship, I had Mallory. So now it's like, okay, well, I can see why Mallory would feel the way she feels. She feels like, well, who's the new Mallory? Who's taking my spot? Cause I know you just can't be with one person. And I can, it's just I have to get back to that way. And yes, I do have people I've talked to and kick it with and shit like that. But I don't think they were worth, I know that they wasn't worth me losing her. And I did because of just doing dumb shit, and I'm good now because, like I said, I'm able to have been to talk to her about it. I'm able to go to therapy, and he talking to me about certain things. So it's a lot of emotional things going on that I feel like as a black man that should have probably been being taken care of, but it takes a certain time in your life. You just have to decide now is the time. I'm tired of being like this. I'm tired of breaking people's feelings, hurting people's hearts or whatever. I need to get to a place of find out who I am. Maybe I like a lot of women. Maybe you don't need to be with nobody. If that's the case, then do that. Quit trying to have meaningless relationships, knowing that you still like to entertain, that you still like to conversate. Because women don't want that. They don't want extra women in your ear that claim to be your friend when you know that they really want to be more than that. And that's where I'm at.
Because I wanted to take this turn, because I know we're going to wrap this up soonish. I'm looking at the time. To talk about the healing, to talk about therapy. You're like maybe the fourth, fifth black guy, male, anybody on the show, because I don't talk to men. But every time I do it, this comes up because I think it's something in our community. Black women go to therapy, black men do not as much. So I would love for you to talk about that. Like, what prompted you to go to therapy? What was like that process?
Coming up, we are taught that if anything is wrong with you, you pray about it. God this, God that, Jesus loved, Jesus wept, Jesus went. Therapy, counseling was not even talked about. It wasn't even an option. It was pray about it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, pray without actions is a dead act. So it has to be something else besides prayer that's going to move certain things. And what it found in me is I pray twice a day, 3 times on Sunday. I can get you the word back and forth, all 66 books. People don't know that side of me, that I'm very spiritually inclined with my Lord and Savior. Mm-hmm. You won't know that with my actions. You wouldn't know that with my actions, but when it comes to the word, I could probably sit at the table with some of the best in the world and talk about the word back and forth. We can go at it. Once I kept praying and I kept doing the same things and to wind up in the same situations, I said, it's got to be something deeper than the surface, because I know I'm a good guy. I know I can be a better person to one woman. What is it? And one day I said, you know what? I said, I'm going to go to therapy. I said, I'm going to go talk to somebody and see maybe if they can dig deeper than what I'm coming up with, because I'm coming up blank. And when he went all the way back to the molestation that happened to me, he came up with the theory that you don't trust women, because the one woman that you're supposed to trust put you in a bad situation for her own selfish reasons. It wasn't like she had to work. It wasn't like she had to go to school. She wanted to hang out and party, and she put you in a bad situation. Knowingly or unknowingly, that wasn't a good reason. Now, if you say to me, I'm working 2 jobs, I'm going to school and working, you can understand you got to probably stay with the babysitter and shit like that. And then you would still be fucked up, but you would understand her reasons was for the making our lives better. You hanging out with your girlfriend, going to drink, leaving me in harm's way, it's never going to sit right with me. So until I talked to my mother and told her, like, this was one of my workshops I had to do. I had to call her and tell her, like, hey, you know, a lot of things I'm dealing with when it comes to women stems back to how you did me. I said, I know you didn't mean it. And I know, Lord knows, if I had told her like this was going on, I would have lost you twice. Because you was going to go to jail and I'd be stuck with somebody else to raise me. And it just wasn't going to be a good day. Now, thinking back now, I think that I did the best for everybody. And that's what I always do. I do what's best for everybody else and not me. So now I'm doing what I feel is best for me. And it's going to be a different change. All this helping people with college, helping them with their livelihood financially. Mallory was my last show.
I'm sure people listening is probably, some people probably sad hearing you say that right now.
because it's like this, Jazz. I've always cared about other people more so than me and my end goal. I want to make sure the day was good. I want to make sure it's something I could do for them. Nobody ever sat me down and said, what do you want? What gonna make you happy? And I really got to the point where me making other people happy was my joy. And in a sense, it still is. But now I have to get away from that and be a self-centered bastard and worry about me. Because if I'm not together, I can't be together for these kids. I can't be together for the grandkids. I can't be together for no wife, no girlfriend, anybody else if I'm not right. So one thing I do is take off the mask. And this is the raw, uncut version of who I am. It's not pretty. It's not glamorous, but it's my life. And it's me. And I done did some things that I'm like ashamed about. But I did things at the time I felt I wanted to do them. Whether right or wrong. You know, these relationships, they take work. I'm not willing to work hard. I feel like if everything is good, we fucking, we enjoying life, we bills is paid, we living good, why cause problems where there is none? Like, why try to start shit? Why go to my phone? You know, if everything is good, like Like, let's just live life. I mean, we good. It's not
but
like
that's what I
catch
mean
up.
by the healing. It can't just be you. So it has to be, you know, both parties, and that's whoever you're with has to be in the right state of mind, because if I have trust issues with men, I'm gonna keep going through your phone. Like, regardless of your actions, I'm gonna be always looking for you to slip up, because that's what I'm expecting.
And I believe that's, you know what, and that's Mallory. Like, she just got out of a situation with old boy, and it was bad, and then here I come, and I'm not cheating, but that's all I heard was the cheating. But I didn't hear all the other disrespect and shit like that. And those are the things that I was doing unconsciously because I wasn't physically being in tune with somebody else's body. It's more to it than that. I get it now. It took for me to lose her and to go to therapy to realize it's a bigger picture than you just looking through this little bitty lens. Like, you have to do this. You have to act this way. You have to be this. You have to be that person. Because I know that if I give 120% to a woman, she's already surpassed my percentage and probably give me 300%. When women just love harder and different than men. My little 85% I've been given throughout every relationship since 2012 has been good. I've been in control of all of them. I decide if I'm gonna stay or decide if I'm gonna go. I decide this, I decide that, and great women, great women. Any man that get any lady I feel like I've been talking to, they're gonna be happy with that woman.
You do have a type. You like very, very smart, successful women. That seems to be your type. You like intelligent women. I said that to you the other day. You like intelligent women. Not every man likes intelligent women. Though a lot of them don't.
But see, I think I told Mallory. I said I think that it was with you that if you had been in your field working and you was accomplished to where you would want to be at, I said you wouldn't have felt like you needed me as much to go through my phone. You felt like, whatever, I'm good. If this nigga fuck up, I'm straight. This, that, and the other. I feel like you thought I was looking for something that was already together, and that's what I wanted. I said that wasn't the case. Like, I'm helping you because I know who you are and what you were to me. Hell, Belle got a whole master's degree off my blood, sweat, and tears. I'm not reaping no benefits from that, you know, but she can say I got a master's degree. Now, she's not going to put in quotations or hyphenate and say because of true. She's going to let it be known I have a master's degree, and I don't care that you don't ever mention my name again. But I did have a footstone in your life to where no other nigga did that. Like, I want to do things to the women I deal with to make the bar higher for another guy to come up under it. I want them to prove why they should have you, why you should be with them.
Look, I'm all on board with what you're saying. I wish more men felt that way. Just make it harder for the next. Level me up a couple of notches. That sounds great.
You know, and a lot of guys don't, you know, be intimidated by whatever it is. But I got told Mallory, I said, hey, I'm not going to say anything. When a woman asks me about my last relationship, I'm going to be like, hey, we just not together. Because what they want to do is compare and see what they need to do or what not to do to try to get in better or try to be this person that they really probably not anyway. And that's what I have to learn too. If this is not what you want to be, don't come out the gate saying that you're going to be this, you can do this, and because that's not what I'm doing. I'm not. It's sad because I don't have no chicks that I want to be like, oh, I'm trying to court her, I'm trying to see what she about. And it's because I feel like I'm still not going to be there. I'm still going to do the same shit, still wind up in the same result. If I have another interview with your ass, talking about the same shit, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, don't even open that can of worms. You know, like when Mallory had a little surgery the other week, I stayed the weekend and looked out for her. I never thought I would be able to be around her and do them things for her again because of what we went through. Well, what I put her through. And it just felt, it was like a weight lifted off me, like, you really are evolving and not hold no grudge. You not being mad about shit that you did. You own it up to your shit. And I like that. I like this feeling. I like the air I'm in. It's breathable. I don't have to pretend. I don't have to act. I don't have to do anything. I can be me. For the first time, this is me.
That's beautiful.
Only thing is, I don't want to meet somebody and then I'm a great guy for this sorry ass chick and then be mad like, damn, I should have been by my damn self. So that's
but no, I think you on the right track, because it's something I say repeatedly to people too. When you get happy alone, when you are comfortable alone, you're picky about who you have in your space, because you're comparing it to how happy you are by yourself. So relationships are different, you know.
If they can't make you happier with them than you are by yourself, be by yourself.
And I feel like once you have that down, that's for everyone. I always say I talk to women about that, because I feel like women are socialized to believe that they should always be in a relationship. And so I have a lot of friends who just jump from relationship to relationship and don't take a moment. And I think men are good with, I'm not going to say being alone. Y'all have some people in rotation. But you know, but I think everything you've said is on point. And I think, but the last question I'm gonna ask you, and this is directly, could you give a message to men, especially men who are thinking about therapy or thinking some bullshit? Just one last thing and that'll sum it all up.
You know what, Jasmine, I'll be glad to answer that. From the realest guy in the world who has done it all, I can say to men of all nationalities, a woman loves beyond our recognition. If you think that you want to have something on the side, let it be known. Every and anything that you think that you're not ready for, don't bring it to a woman, because they love hard. Most men, we don't cheat out of nothing but convenience and opportunity. That's the only reason most of us cheat. If we cheat, it's because it's accessible to us and it was easy. I've never seen a man work hard to cheat. It's usually something convenient. And that's been me. It's been always easy for me. It come easy to me, but just because it come easy don't mean it's something I should do. So with me being in therapy, I've learned that I can be good for one woman. I want to be right for one woman. It's just the hard part now is going to be finding the right woman. And that was my daughter calling. So with that being said, to all my brothers and sisters, you know, because women think they men nowadays. So with that being said, just if you want to be by yourself, I know. If you want to be by yourself or you want a relationship, let the person know exactly what it is you want to do in that relationship and give them a choice. Because when you come in with this idea that you gonna be faithful, that you're gonna be just for them, and they give they all, they treat you with the utmost respect and not cheat on you, not lie to you, and you do all the opposite, you just make it harder for the next brother to come through and be right for that woman. Because women don't want to be hurt. Men don't want to be hurt either, but men, we have a lot of options. It's like, in my ratio, it's probably 40-1. And I'm not about to try to date 40 women.
Good.
But I wouldn't have a problem with it either. So with that being said, I really do think that more men and women should really look into having their mental health checked out by a therapist to find out what's going on with them, because it's a lot of things that we have hidden that's been going on with us through our parents, through our childhood, through life, that we just really need to get a better perspective, because we can't figure this out. I've tried. I'm 49. I've tried, and I have not get it together. I pray about it. I fast. I do everything, and I still needed to go talk to someone. So seek help. Keep praying. And when you find that one woman who gives you butterflies, you have to cut all the rest loose, because all women want the same thing. They want to be happy. They want to be taken care of, and they want to be protected.
Hallelujah.
So if you can do that for one woman, that's the challenge that I'm doing now. It's being a player is easy. It's the it's the one woman being faithful, cutting everybody off is what I'm working hard to do these days. So I know Jazz has been a gracious hostess with the mostest.
Thank you.
I appreciate you having me on.
You preached the whole word right there at the end. I'm so glad it's Sunday because, I mean, you on point. We all want the same thing. We just want to be happy and taken care of and loved and respected and protected. That's it. It's simple.
It sounds simple, but it's hard when you get so many distractions. And I got those, but I'm handling those. But I love your friend still.
Good.
We were great friends. Now we understand how it is, and I can honestly say in front of the audience that if whoever gets her, they will be happy as a runaway slave. But they better hope I don't get my shit together before that day happens, because they're gonna miss that opportunity. But Jasmine, I love you. You have been
gracious. Thank you for coming.
I stopped working for you, so I knew. I said,
"Look, I said we gonna make this shit work. Don't hang up yet. I'm gonna wrap this up. Thank you everyone for watching. This is actually gonna be part of a series because I'm gonna interview Mallory next to get her side of it. Particularly since my dad wouldn't do no interview. I already got, Mallory's just like my mother, and you and my father had the same birthday. So I just be watching my parents every time I talk to y'all. But but thank you for coming on. I'm gonna hit end, and then we'll wrap that part up and then we'll go. So thank you everyone. See you later.